change the face, but all you do is take just another fucking sob story, just another fucking petty case. Hate me, it's all the same to me. Hate me, victim of reality.
Tell us about your relationship with XXXTentacion.
It's just a sensitive subject, you know what I mean? Because obviously it's my dead friend, and I've really tried to like move past that part of my life. But I found him 2016. One of my buddies showed me his music, and he was like, "Yo, you like that metal shit?" And I was like, "Yeah, definitely." And he was like, "Yo, well, this kid, he's like yelling over rap beats." I heard Caution, and it had 20,000 plays at the time, and I was just like, "Yep, this is fucking sick." So I tried to hit him up a couple times on Twitter, and he didn't fucking hit me back. And so I decided, I was like, I'm just going to make him a beat. Sent it to him, and he replied, and he was just like, "Yo, you're going to fucking love this shit. Hit me with the download right now." I wasn't even at my house when I sent it, so I couldn't even hit him with the download. He had to rip that shit off SoundCloud. And then after that, he got booked for a concert in Portland, and then this is like Look At Me's been out for like 2 months, and I was like, this is like a hit. I loved it. Nobody was fucking with it, and I was DJing at all these shows I was playing. And I told him, I was like, "Yo, dude, if you need somewhere to crash while you're in Portland, like, get at me." And then he decided that meant he should stay at my house for like a week and a half without telling me. So him and Ski show up at my house with, "Hi, my name's Ryan," and we sat and hung out and just got to know each other. And then we wrote King. I think within the first 30 minutes of him being at my house, he told me to grab a guitar. I played my warm-up notes, which was literally the intro riff to King. And then we just sat and hung out until that concert. And then, you know, after that, he kind of, all the allegations and the cases and all that shit started happening, you know what I mean? And our distance got further and further. And then amidst all of that, it was kind of just like, I don't want to be known as this man's producer for the rest of my career. And as much as I loved him, so I was just like, you know, I got to move away from this. And I didn't really fuck with any of those allegations, you know, just for me personally. Like, I didn't know if they were true or not, and I'll never speak to that. But if they were true for me and things that have happened in my family, I was just like, I can't be around that. And then, you know, last 6 months of his life, we didn't really talk much because it was just a lot of him trying to tell me what I was going to do. And as much as I loved him, I was just not hearing that. And then, you know, he passed. And then fucking the reality of all that set in. But still miss him, still love him, you know what I mean? And I got no resentment with myself or with him on any of our shit. It just sucks that we weren't speaking as much, but can't change any of that shit.
Tell us about your most recent song, Pages. What was the writing process like for this one?
That was one of those songs. I'd been watching a bunch of hardcore videos, and I'm constantly thinking about how I can draw like more authentic metal influence into what I'm doing. And I watched one of the Hate 5-6 videos of Knock Loose playing, and I'm a big Knock Loose fan, been following them for a long time. And they were doing like one of the closing songs, and there's a part where it's just gang chant vocals, and every fucking kid in that venue is trying to take that microphone. And I was like, that is the sickest shit to me, and I wish I could write a song that would make kids that want to do that. So I'd been toying with that idea a bit, and I was like, you know, it's just got to start off straight to the fucking point. Just drums and me yelling, but I got to be saying something enough where that'll make kids, you know what I mean, want to yell with me because they understand where I'm coming from. So I started writing the instrumental and the lyrics at the same time, which never happens for a King Yosef song. It's either one or the other, and I make one fit to the other. But as I was writing, it just continued to just come out as I was moving, and it all just completely fell into place. But outside of that, it's like also one of the first songs I'd say where there was like a specific moment in time that was in my head, and it was like, it's specific people in my life that I'm talking about, and like actual situations versus just being reactionary and being pissed off about something.
How did you first get into contact with Zheani?
This is actually a funny story. I like telling this one. So Pop Mom was like, yo, there's this girl I follow, and she was like, I followed her for years, and she was like, she's just like does modeling shit. She's super cool. You know what I mean? She's just got like this sick ass vibe. And she's starting to make music, and she noticed that a song was produced by somebody I might know, and she was just like, you should email her. You should make music with her. And I was just like, yeah, you know what? You're right. I totally fucking should. So I emailed Zheani on a fucking whim, and I honestly didn't know if I'd get a response back or anything. And she hit me back and then was just like, I like what you're doing. And then I was like, cool. So then we began collaborating. This is probably, I think we started talking in 2018 now. So it's been like 2 years. We started collaborating a bit, and then it just kind of like fit. I understood what Zheani's influences were when we started talking, and the more and more we started to talk, I was like, oh fuck, we like a shit ton of the same things. And I think I just kind of got the aesthetic of what she was going for, and sonically I was able to just translate that decently, and that's why it's worked so well. But I don't work with a lot of artists nowadays. I think it's something, you know, if most people that are like checking out my music would probably notice, but it's, for me, it's because I'm not like, I don't just make a song with someone necessarily to be able to just be like, I have a fucking placement. When I work with somebody, I really want to help develop them, and I think that there should be a world when we make music together, and if we're gonna make songs, like all those songs should fit inside of its own like little aesthetic realm. And that's why when I started working with Zheani, you know, I produced a bunch of songs on our album, and then we did the whole EP together. But if you listen to those songs and the way that her and I work together sonically, like it all feels a part of the same thing. Like it feels like all of them are a culmination to a bigger puzzle. And that's what I really enjoy about producing music anymore. And outside of that, I'm not as interested now.
What is King Yosef name?
So it's kind of a sad story, kind of a cool story. But my middle name is Yosef. Every man in my family side, on my dad's side, him and his brother, they were both named Joe. My grandmother had a older brother who was, she believes was closeted, and he got caught, and he ended up taking his own life when he was about 18 years old. So all of us men in our family are named after him as sort of a, you know, an honor and a sentiment to him. But my dad was young, and he was like, yeah, I kind of want to carry that on, but Joe is really boring. And he was like flipping through some book or some shit and saw Yosef, grabbed that. So that's where that part comes from. And then the King thing comes from, like, you know, I could tell you 100 different stories about it, but simple one, I thought about adding King to it because looking up Yosef, fucking possible on the internet. KingYosef.com was available. So that was one of the final straws where I was like, fuck it, I'm adding King to it. But, you know, it's just like, it's a self-empowerment thing, to put it very simply. It's just like, I'm like the king of my own reality. And as corny as that fucking is, it's just a matter of like, it really is about just self-empowerment at that point. And now it's kind of transcended to where I feel, you know, like it's a name that makes me feel good. It makes me feel confident. It makes me feel strong. And that was always the point. So I grew into it more as time went on. When I first like put that as my name, I was like, I feel kind of weird, you know, feels like a little, kind of like an asshole thing, but now I'm completely fine with it. I feel like I fit that name, and that name fits me, so.
Do you have a message? What do you want people to take from your music?
That's a hard one. I guess it would depend on song to song, album to album, but ultimately, I would like to sit in a place where, you know, eventually rap kids that want to get into metal a little bit more can find more metal music through me, and metal kids that want to get into rap a little bit more can find rap music through me. And, you know, I can kind of, not like I need to be a fucking gatekeeper or any shit like that, but I really just like have a genuine love for both genres, and like really my mission is to kind of like bridge that gap and not be like, no beef with Limp Bizkit, but not be Limp Bizkit, you know what I mean? Where it's not like, I'm rapping over some metal shit or anything like that. I think there's just people that genuinely carry that sonic aesthetic that transcends both. They're so similar and people don't see that. And I really think, you know what I mean, there's artists out there that are doing it, and it's just connecting the dots. And if I can be a part of that puzzle to kind of bring things together where there's more kids getting into other genres, like, I would be extremely happy with that.
Why should people care about King Yosef?
Oh, fuck. Dude. I mean, because I'm taking a very genuine approach to this. And if I was in this because it was fun, I would have quit a really long time ago, because this isn't fun all the time. I do this because I genuinely love it, and I'm just genuinely trying to make the best music I can. I really wear my heart on my sleeve when I write music. And I think within that, you know, I hope that people can take away from it. And I feel like that's why I feel like people should care, is because I'm really giving it my all 24/7. So
Hell yeah.